Good evening and welcome to another episode of A Contagious Smile Unstoppable. I am Victoria with my husband Michael, who is sitting over here beside me. Hi, babe.
Howdy, y'all.
How's it going?
Outstanding.
He's a little preoccupied, but aren't most men? See,
Hey, easy, greasy.
I'm just saying. So I want to thank everybody who has sent out amazing birthday wishes for Faith. It was very sweet. We did so much. This kid did not have a birthday. She had a birthday weekend.
Oh, yes, y'all. She milked it.
Oh, but she deserves it. So let's just say very quickly, we want to thank everybody who did reach out and send their happy birthday messages to her. We went and took her to the firing range and she shot, and that kid has mama's talent all day long.
So, first of all, she went out to her favorite restaurant,
One of them, yeah, we
right?
did that for dinner.
Starts with Olive.
Yeah, it ends with a garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what did we do?
You guys, well, I
Went
sat and
bowling,
I got to watch you guys go bowling.
and that was hilarious
That was hysterical. I mean, this kid
because,
is walking up. Now, she hasn't bowled in a couple of years, and she's walking up with her hand in her freaking pocket, like she's the cool cat on the
right.
corner, and just strike,
And
right?
then sachets back.
With a little tush tush, yeah, I guess you'd sway it or whatever you want to call it. And then we get done with that, and then we do something fun. We do her presents with riddles. So it would be like every gift she would get the gift bag and then she would say it says number four, and I would give her the riddle and she'd have to guess the gift, and it's super fun and she loves to do it every year. And so then we went on another day, we went to the shooting range, and she has never shot indoor range ever. And so
Well,
we,
she's never fired a real firearm.
correct.
She's fired a BB gun.
Yes. And so we go in and we're a little, concerned how she's going to do. And we try to, because she has very sensitive hearing. And she just messaged me, I did hit the bullseye 3 times. So she wanted me to let everybody know because she's eavesdropping. But yes, so she goes in there, and before we go back, I'm telling her how to do the stance correctly, how not to squint her shoulders, how not to be surprised at the kick of the gun, and blah blah blah. Right? She goes in there and just hits the flipping bullseye, and she says, "I can't help my good hearing." All right, and she hits the bullseye. That, my friends, is mom's offspring. Oh, yeah.
As my wife said, y'all, we were apprehensive about giving, our precious girl a firearm, loaded.
We
Granted,
give her one bullet.
granted, we
Would you like to come participate, Faith?
we
She goes
loaded
through
one
to
bullet
everybody. I'm a natural.
in the magazine at a time. So she uh she surprised me. She did excellent. And then once the
Cowboy,
once
she
the
surprised me.
we
It
will you
just,
tell her we're on air?
she knows. She's sending me messages to convey to everybody. Like, she didn't surprise me. I knew that she'd be good. I was just worried about her with the kickback when she fired the first few times. And when she hit that bullseye, like that precious child of mine lit up so like, oh, and it was the sweetest, cutest moment ever. And she got the bullseye not once, not twice, but 3 times. It was awesome. My kid, just saying.
Are you done?
Maybe. I don't know.
So she shot my wife's Smith Wesson Easy Glide 380. We wanted the minimum amount of kick being her first time. That's any parent should do that. Don't go out and give your kid a 44 Magnum for the first go around.
God, no.
Um, once that hook was set in her, and she went through, I don't know, probably 15 rounds. I mean, she was all giddy and bubbly and
Hooked.
Dad, can we come here every time? Can you get a membership right now? Please go get a membership now.
Right. When are we coming back? When?
Right.
And then she's signing more, 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 more. I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to do more.
And I mistakenly only bought her one box of ammo.
Yeah, that was the first mistake. It
And the sourpuss look on her face
was heart-wrenching.
when she found out that's all the ammo she had,
Heart-wrenching.
I offered her to shoot, the 45s I brought out, but that was, you know, it wasn't going to happen. So she said, Dad, make sure you get plenty of boxes of
Yeah, she
ammo.
told me you need to get like 10 boxes. I said, you need a job because ammo's not cheap. But I just wanted to say that. And then, I am forthcoming and I do want to say that with the fact that she had such a great week of birth week, that she did have some disappointment. And I just want to, be the mom, the protective tigering mom, and say shame on all of you who couldn't even take how long does it take? 10 seconds to send a text? I mean, even when you're on the toilet, you can text. I mean, everybody scrolls on the toilet. You scroll on the toilet when you're in there. My husband.
Hey, that's a natural guy thing.
But I mean, seriously, what do you have to say about that? There are
My family members,
mhm,
y'all should have called and wished her happy birthday.
or texted
Your family members, which are 45 minutes up the road, should have called,
or
text,
texted
or
or
email.
smoke
Oh, yeah,
signal.
smoke signals. I don't care.
A birthday card. Go to the dollar store because we don't care about the materialistic thing of it. Get a 99-cent card. I mean, right now stamps are almost half that cost, if not more. I don't even know what a stamp goes for anymore. But not even a 10-second out of your day simple text for this kid who has fought her whole life to be here. She has the heart of gold. All she ever wants to do is help other people. She's really sweet. Now, granted, Annie Oakley Jr. over there is not someone that you want to mess with or tango with because she holds her own very, very well. But how do you, babe, as across the board, because you even made that clear last night. How as a grandparent on either side not even reach out and say, happy birthday or, you know,
Like
anything.
you said, shame on them. Birthdays for us old folks, it doesn't mean much, right?
This is different.
But when this is your grandkid, you know,
Everything she's been through,
and everything she's been through, man, pick up the phone, y'all.
send a flippin' text.
So I don't know. I can't answer for them.
But you think, okay, could they disappoint you anymore? And then something like this is done. But when they come back around on either side, the excuse to me will not hold water. I mean, it's just not. It's not because there's no excuse, none.
I've just learned to expect disappointment with either of those, and I'm never going to be disappointed.
Well, see, that's different for us than it is for her. Like,
It is.
and she was heartbroken, and that broke my heart. Not that none of them reached out because I didn't expect it, but the fact that we had to watch her look at her phone and say, "Guess what? They didn't message,"
No.
and that is unforgivable. I mean, in today's technology and all the different ways you could reach out, even reaching out through us, her parents, you know, we would have given the message to her. But that to me is absolutely unexcusable.
So that was our weekend.
I'm off the rant for a
It
minute.
was it was excellent, y'all. I had a fabulous time, shooting with my daughter, uh,
Hour.
going out to eat. She ate a ton of food at
Good.
her favorite place. So y'all spend quality time with your kids because we've got two others that we don't see, and I wish we did,
I wish we did.
but they're gonna grow up, and they're one of them's 20 now, and they're gonna leave the nest probably when they're 30. Uh, but enjoy the time you got with your kids. Like like Saturdays, my daughter and I we have movie night every Saturday night. We call it Daddy Daughter Movie Night every Saturday night for the past 4+ years that I've been
Back.
back with my wife.
Yeah, but in fairness, last night didn't start till this morning because it was after midnight because somebody was
I took a nap.
sleeping. No, this is how this goes.
I took
I'm
a
gonna go to bed. I'll wake up at 10. So at 10:15, that's what we get. So then Faith is like, oh, I'll do it. So it was so that's what we get. Again, I need a couple minutes to wake up. So we send the dogs in. And then it was, get off of me. And then it's 11 and 11:30 and it's quarter to 12 and now it's 12 and I'm like, that's it, I'm going. So Faith was like, open the door, turn on every light that she possibly could find, remove the covers, enter in the dogs to get him because she was not going to give up her movie night. It's just not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
Why am I that bad?
I love you.
You failed to answer the question.
I love you.
Oh Lord. What are you working on over there?
What am I not working
Your
on?
42nd book?
No. So here's what's
Oh, we had a subject we were going to discuss. Do you recall?
no.
You have the perfect memory. I do not. I said we were going to discuss it.
Well, first, I want to take 1 minute before,
All
like,
right.
trying to recollect
Go ahead.
and put our heart and hugs and prayers to the DeKalb County in Georgia officer who was killed protecting kids and individuals with the CDC shooting just the other day. He has left a wife and two kids, and she's pregnant. He didn't even hesitate. He went right in there to the shooter and tried to de escalate the situation, and he gave his life. And so I just want to send heartfelt thank you to him and his family and condolences and prayers and hugs to his family because that's just today everywhere you look there's active shooting. I mean it's incredible how like in Georgia there's MARTA, which is like the train system and the transportation system, and there's buses and trains and things of that nature. And anybody in Georgia knows who MARTA, what knows what MARTA is. And there was supposedly not even a week ago was an active shooter on the train on one of the trains in MARTA. And then the other day, two officers were standing out at Little Five Point Station and an active shooter shot both officers. And it's every single day now you are hearing about active shooting. And it's just, come on. I mean, back in the day, we worried about getting smacked around with a dodgeball or, not coming in when the light was on the street lamp came on. Now, like the CDC is right next to Emory. They have had, which is the hospital, and now you're having shootings like right at the hospital. You're having them in churches. You're having them in schools. I mean, how do we get this to stop? How can we get this to stop? This is not okay. These are our lives, our family, our children. This is just, this has got to stop.
So you might say, well, you're being a hypocrite because y'all were at the gun range.
Yeah, but we're there to protect ourselves.
Exactly, y'all.
There's a big doggone difference. We're not going to go out there and seek revenge on people. We're going to go and teach our daughter how to self-defend. We're not going to go and, that's just not the mentality. And we taught gun safety from day one to her. And the thing is that people say, well, it's guns that kill people. It's people that kill people. A gun doesn't pick itself up and shoot itself, right? And I've had a gun
Right.
clocked to my head. I've had a gun, with my ex had his finger on the trigger and it was put to my skull, and most people at that point would be afraid of guns. But it wasn't the gun that did it, it was the piece of crap holding it. My husband is so preoccupied.
Well,
Babe,
yes,
pay attention.
I am.
I mean, most people say it's guns that are doing with the killing, but I mean, and a lot of people want all the guns taken off the streets. What is your
No,
say on this?
we have several guns here.
We have a good arsenal here, but what about the people who say they want to take them off the streets?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let the bad guy come into their house. What are they going to do? Grab a candlestick to defend themselves and their loved ones, their children? Anyway,
What
I
were you
still
talking
haven't
about?
thought of the topic I wanted to discuss. I don't remember. I don't know. Anyway,
So while you're thinking of that,
my wife is still compiling the have you what's the title of the book?
Dear Silence,
Dear Silence. I don't know why I drew a brain fart.
yes, I have actually written quite a few in there, and also I'm going to give you a trigger warning ahead of time. And my husband is so preoccupied right now. It's not, I mean, normally he's preoccupied, but this is a little crazy because he is very preoccupied. So while I'm pulling this up, I do want to tell you guys what else I'm doing. I created a ebook, if you will. Of course, my husband's going to say, "Oh, of course you did." And it's called Puppet Mastering the Manipulator, like the unmasking the narcissist, if you will. And in this, it's over 180 pages. It's over 180 pages, and it talks about really seeing the true colors from within of a narcissist. And it's been valued at about $49. And instead of putting it out on Amazon, what I'm doing is I'm putting it, my husband doesn't know any of this, y'all, so maybe this will undistract him, is that I have added it to the resource section of the library for our Contagious Smile Academy. And you can go on there and get this 180 plus page ebook for free if you join the academy. And what we ask is that if you join the academy and you partake in the classes and you learn things and you have fun and you bond with your children and some of the Stucco Squad courses, you get any of the ebook classes or books in there, and you feel like, you know what, I want to contribute to this so that I can help provide scholarships for other people. There's a link in there where you can do that as well, and we can help because if we don't start getting some funding, it's going to be very hard to keep up with what we're doing because we're the ones funding it without any help, and it's really difficult. It's a very challenging thing.
So y'all get on our website at contagiousmile.com, join our academy, and shoot us an email if y'all want to come on our show sometime. I know my wife's very busy with all her celebrities that she has a conversation with. I think she reposted Malcolm Goodwin
For her, because he wished Faith a happy
giving giving
birthday.
our daughter a happy birthday wish, which that was excellent. He didn't
He,
have to do
he
that.
was also on Law and Order SVU.
He
What
was
a
awesome.
teacher.
And if I'm not mistaken, he called up my wife a few years ago.
Yes, he reached out to me and said to me that somebody he knew told him I saved their life. I helped them. I spoke with them. I was talking with them and helping them with all different resources. And I had no idea they knew him. I treat everybody from a CEO to a receptionist to the trash guy to the same exact way. And he reached out thanking me and said, "You now have a permanent, lifelong fan in me. Thank you for what you do." And I was just like, wow,
So Malcolm Goodwin has played in iZombie
the Reacher
and Reacher.
and Law and Order
Law and Order.
SVU. He
Yep.
was also in the Breakout Kings. He was so good in that show. So if he's listening, that was one of my favorite things he did. The Breakout Kings, that was like a phenomenal show that did not get the props that it needed. Breakout Kings should have been like a major, major network show. It really was. It was kind of a cool concept. I think if you would watch it, you'd really like it. Basically, it's a U.S. Marshal handpicks some criminals, and what they do is they're going after some fugitives, and for every fugitive they catch, they get time taken off of their sentencing, right? And so they have like an array of different people who offer different skills, if you will. And Malcolm Goodwin was one of them.
Hmm.
And quick-witted, hilarious, fun. He was great. I was so upset when the show ended because it was good. All right, anyway, enough on that one. But I'm actually going to read one of the entries for Dear Silence. I'm going to put out there trigger, trigger, trigger warning. And then, as soon as it's done, I'm gonna let my husband say what he thinks after I've read it. This is very triggering for me for multiple reasons. So I'm gonna go ahead and remind you again. It's triggering. This is actually from our daughter, and she wrote this to all of the grandparents across the board. She wrote this to the people who say that they care about her and then need her for whatever. Oh, can you get me to this celebrity? Can you do this? Can you do that? And then they don't need her anymore. And she was heartbroken, and so she did this. And I'm very proud of her for releasing it because I think it really did help her. But she was devastated when we began this. So this is just one of the entries that will be in the book. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you again, it's a trigger warning, and then I'm just going to stop and let my husband say what he thinks about it. You knew, God, you knew. You knew I was in that hospital. You knew I was on life support. You knew the doctors were telling my parents she's not going to make it home. And you still stayed away. Don't tell me it was because you didn't know what to do, because I've lived in the hospital dozens of times before, but none were as serious as this. You had one job: be my grandparents, love me anyway, and show up. But you didn't. Not when my body was failing, not when I was so fragile they couldn't even take me down to the OR. Dozens of surgeries had to be done right there in my PICU room because I was too weak to survive the trip down to surgery. I needed dozens of blood transfusions and was even put back into a medically induced coma, excuse me, more than once. Every time the lights would get brighter, the room would fill with doctors, and I'd feel the fear in the air before I felt the pain. My kidneys were failing, my blood was poisoned, everything was shutting down, but my parents refused to give up. Regardless of what the doctor said, my mom had already begun the process to donate one of her kidneys because mine was almost gone. You guys all knew all of this, and you still stayed away. You obviously had already disowned me several times before. You even forbid me to be on your property, and for what reason? Because I told the truth? When I stopped playing the quiet, obedient granddaughter you could no longer control? I thought that this was the worst you could do to me. Use the fact I have special medical needs as an excuse to your wife to see other women. You told your wife you were with me and my mom, but in fact, you were with whatever tramp you were messing with at that time. Pictures tell 1,000 words. But then came this. Do you know what the nights were like? The machines breathing for me, the alarms screaming if my heart rate dropped, nurses whispering outside my door like I couldn't hear them through the haze of my pain and the medicine. My dad's eyes never stopped moving from the monitors to the doctors and back to me. He didn't leave, neither did my mom. They lived in that room beside me for months. They ate from vending machines and slept in stiff chairs. They counted every beep, every hour, praying, begging for a miracle. They whispered to me like I could hear them because love refuses to let go, and they weren't going anywhere. And you, what, one phone call? Once? Over months? And you told yourselves that was enough. It wasn't. It didn't count when, again, you were nowhere around and my mom refused to give in. And even when the doctors offered to take and make me comfortable and let me pass quietly, that was the moment my mom was anything but quiet. She told them hell no. She told them I was not done. She told them both her and my dad would keep fighting because they weren't about to watch me slip away. They told me, sorry, they told them no so loud and so certain it cut through the air like a knife. They told the doctors that I was not leaving this earth without a fight so fierce it would shake the walls of that hospital. They told them that they would burn through every ounce of their strength, every dollar they had, and every heartbeat they had, because I was worth every battle and they were ready to do whatever they had to in order to save my life. They fought for me every single second, and you couldn't even fight to come by for a single visit. You could have walked into that room. You should have walked into that room. My parents fought for me every second, every breath. The doctor set my parents down and told them I was in full kidney failure. When they explained that my body was shutting down, that every organ was struggling, I was put on dialysis. They warned my parents that even if I survived the night, there was no promise of a tomorrow. You could have walked into that room, and again, you should have walked into that room. You could have held my hand, even if I couldn't squeeze back. You could have said, "We love you," even if it was the first time in years. But you didn't, because in your eyes, I was already gone. You no longer could use me as your excuse for your extramarital activities, therefore making me useless to you. And here's the part you'll never erase. I survived, I came home, and I remember. I remember the dozens of surgeries you weren't there for. I remember my mom's voice trembling as she talked about giving me her kidney because she hadn't slept or stopped crying in days. I remember my mom having just lost her hand, learning how to function as a new amputee, trying to put on a glove so that she could learn how to help in my wound care one handed, crying in frustration but never once giving up. And guess what? She figured out how to do everything I needed, and she did it all one handed. I remember the chair by my bed that my dad stayed in, right beside me, and I remember the silence that told me more than words ever could say. And that choice, it will follow you. It will sit beside you when you close your eyes at night. It will echo in the hollow space where your love should have been. I lived, I came home, and I will spend the rest of my life knowing the truth you can never outrun. That I fought to stay alive without you, and I won. You didn't just miss my fight for life, you forfeited your place in it. And when people ask where you are, I will tell them the truth. You were nowhere. Not because you couldn't be there, but because you chose not to. And that choice will carve your name into my story as the ones who abandoned me when I was dying. A brand of cowardness that will outlive you and rot whatever legacy you thought you had ever had left.
Y'all, that is from our 19-year-old daughter who's had well over
54.
54 surgeries, which is more than anyone should have in their entire life. I've barely had one surgery, and they call it tonsillectomy. But how dare you say I'm her grandparent? You almost don't get that right to say I am her grandparent. You don't have that possess possessiveness. This little girl was fighting for her life, and you didn't show up one time. Hey, a phone call. How's she doing? All right, I'll call you back in a few hours. I'll call you back tonight. I'll call you back
It
in the
should have been
morning.
I'm on the way.
You know?
It should have been I'm on the way.
Yes, I know you're a state away. You're an hour away. I know it's inconvenient,
Right.
right?
Parts of that were directed towards my biological parents, but the premises of the whole thing was written towards both sides of our family.
Y'all know, as parents, we see it one way, but y'all just saw it from the eyes of a child. A little girl. Man, I'm getting choked up. That was fighting for her life. Y'all heard words. We didn't encourage these. We didn't tell her to write this stuff down.
No,
We already know our daughter's amazing. She's effing amazing. Okay, even in the shooting range, she gets it from my side.
no, she doesn't.
But she has written some amazing stuff, some amazing poems, and this is just her, expressing herself. And we're dang proud of her.
And the thing is that your brother, when he got hurt, I hadn't even met him yet, and we were like, "We're on our way. What do they need? We're on our way down." And they were how long of a drive away?
6 hours?
Okay, I had never met that brother, and it was like, "Let's go. What do they need? Let's go." It was late at night, and I was sending stuff to the family and to their son, and there was no hesitation. We got to go. When your parents lost their air conditioning, it was in the middle of the night and it was hot, and I was like, let's go. And we drove down in the middle, we left, drove down to get them, and came back the same night. And we brought them back. And there was no hesitation because that's what you're supposed to do for family. And, my husband can say what he wants, but, babe, I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it across the board. Shame on every single one.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, there's no excuse. If your mom had a colonoscopy, a routine colonoscopy, and I sent her flowers, and it was just a routine. There was nothing they found. They just did it because you're supposed to at that age. I sent her flowers. I checked on her constantly. You checked on her, but I don't expect everybody to treat everybody the way we treat them. I get that. That's one thing. But to not even wish this kid a happy birthday, which is so minute in the whole scheme of things. But when she's in the hospital fighting for her life, and they literally told us, I mean, they told my husband, what did the surgeon say to you
He told me to go call a priest.
before he even got up there?
Go call a priest. Now, all y'all know, when do you call a priest?
Right. He said she's not coming through the night. Like they made that clear and they're like, we'll just keep her comfortable. And I was anything but quiet at that point. It was just like, no, I literally couldn't stand up. I almost fainted. The nurses
Yeah,
called
I
me.
wanted to grab him and punch him in his face.
Like I couldn't even stand up. And it was, we've come this far. There is no way. I mean, you're watching your little girl hooked up to everything under the sun. She had IVs anywhere that they could have put them. She was on dialysis. They had two nurses in the room. We're in the pediatric ICU. Her organs are constantly failing. She's having surgery after surgery after surgery. I mean, we're talking multiple a day, not just one. And then, a few hours later, she's having another one and she's too fragile to move. And so they're doing it bedside. And one point, she had 11 blood transfusions in one day. And it was just, it was probably, if not the scariest moment of my life. Like watching her go through this, and I couldn't change places with her. I couldn't take that away from her and give it to me so that she could be sitting there playing games with you while I laid there for her, because that's what a real parent does. That's what someone does that really loves somebody, is that they'll take their pain so that they don't have to feel it or experience it. And that's exactly what I would have done without a hesitation. And, I told the doctors, I don't care. Go over there, take me across the street, take my kidney, my liver. I don't care what it is, what she needs. You just do it. And then you find a way to get me back over here and I will recover here because I'm going to be right here with her. And the doctor said some stupid shit like, oh, you can't be in the bed with her. Why? Is it gonna kill her? No. They're like, you can't touch her because stimulation could do something. My child is suffering from bradycardia, which is a low heart rate. So if I stimulate her and her heart rate comes up a little bit, then that's not a bad thing. Go get your license somewhere from anywhere other than Walmart, your medical license, and maybe you could talk to me then. I would never do anything that puts my daughter's life and health in jeopardy. Ever. Never, ever, ever. And for these momos to like literally, she's not going to make it through the night, but you can't touch her. Screw you and the horse that you just got off of. Don't tell me that. And don't tell me you're going to make her comfortable and blah, 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 because that's not going to happen either. Because if making her comfortable and not giving her, any stimulation is going to help, quote unquote, the process of letting her go, I'm going to make a rock concert in that room. It's going to be loud and boisterous. I'm going to wake her up. And I said, I don't care. I will piss her off and
That's
make
right.
her mad at me. But then for the rest of her life, she can live and tell me how mad she was that I didn't let her sleep. Because I am not burying my kid. Period. Not doing it. Just, okay. I'm going to silence my mic for a minute because now I feel my blood pressure rising. But there is no excuse whatsoever why people are so self-centered and so self-involved that you can't even check on your own godforsaken grandchild who would have moved heaven and earth for you time and time again. Mic drop, giving it to Michael. Just
I believe God was with her then.
he has
She
been
wasn't she
her
wasn't
entire
God
life.
forsaken.
Her entire life.
But I know what you meant. So from going for, from when that douchebag doctor said call the priest, she may not live throughout the night.
No, he didn't say she may not. He said she will not.
And then we went to another 24 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
then we went to a weekend, and it just kept getting longer and longer. To here's this beautiful girl at the shooting range. You would have never have thunk it, seeing everything that she was hooked up on. She had two poles because
No, he had two poles on just one
there was
side.
not enough room for all the pumps and everything going into her.
Plus the ventilator, plus the dialysis. You know, she had a Broviac, she had Swan, she had Central Line, she had PIC lines. I mean, she had IVs. You know, there was constantly changing some medication around the clock because one would finish and the other would start. And I counted over 50 at one point. It was nonstop.
So don't tell me as a parent, oh, it's easy to give up on your child. It it's not. There's no way I could have.
Right, but I mean,
I mean, they told us let her go in peace.
right. But I mean, what do you say to the people who couldn't even reach out when she went through this or celebrate her coming through it?
Okay, so looking at that,
Hmm.
you expect us to come running to you now when your old ass is in the hospital because it's coming. You're pushing 80 or are 80,
Not just one side.
right? So are we going to be there for you? Do you expect us to? Do you expect us to pick up the phone? Oh, anyway, that's why my wife and my daughter and my two dogs and we like to have a what do you call it? No drama trauma,
No drama, trauma home.
right?
Home of the no
So
drama,
we
trauma.
like to be somewhat introverts. We have our podcasting. We get out. We go out to eat. We meet hundreds of people.
Right.
Um, we do events, and whatnot. But we just like to keep it simple, just us.
Right.
Our Christmas dinner, y'all,
Oh, it's fabulous. We got a Waffle House. No,
Waffle House.
Christmas dinner is
Right.
at Waffle House, but Christmas
Yeah,
Eve we make dinner here as a
that's
family.
right.
Right. And that's what we do. But you know what's just ironic is that I took Faith to the Waffle House the other day. We hadn't been there since Christmas, right?
Right.
We walk in and they're like, "We haven't seen you since Christmas." Because they're like, "You guys were so nice and so sweet and so thankful. And you guys are just amazing." And they were, just people that I have interviewed on podcasts, people that I have helped, in different situations that I have become friendly with, they reached out and said happy birthday,
Right.
or how is Faith. When all this was going on, we had people that I helped in situations of abuse that were bringing us food that we had never met in person. And they were like, how can we help? What can we do? Can we, go mow your lawn? Can we, what do you need? Right. And I mean, those are the things that really show you a person's true colors of who they are. I mean, that's just what it is. You don't tell them that you love them out of convenience and then you don't need them again until you do, and then you have nothing to say to them until that time comes back around again. You don't do that to people you love. You just don't.
That's right. So our dog Stucco is currently sleeping
On my foot,
on my wife's foot.
because that's my baby.
Speaking of Stucco, if y'all have not seen or know what Stucco Squad is, you can go to our website, contagiousmile.com.
Click on the direct link on the top right menu banner,
Yep.
or go directly to the academy at acontagiousmile.mn.co. And Stucco Squad's just fabulous. And I've had people take some of the classes from Stucco Squad. They love it because, like, the subtraction class is called Take It Away. And Stucco, the beginning of it is Stucco is searching for his cookies. And how did some of his cookies, disappear? And it's a totally different way of teaching kids. Um, when Faith was in public school for the very short time that she was, I went into the special needs classrooms and I would teach a grade beneath her. um, and the teachers were outrageous. Like she had a teacher that was like, "What are you doing?" Well, I would bring in gifts like stickers or pencils or fun things because you don't know if there's allergies or whatever.
Mhm.
And I was teaching math, so I was gonna do fractions, and so I brought the board, which they don't even do chalkboard anymore. And they brought the whiteboard with the stinky smelling markers that are awful, which I don't know how these kids don't have chronic headaches. And I drew a pizza, right? And in the special needs classroom that we were in, they had all the grade levels and they were separated in different sections of the room. So I had four kids in there in the grade I was working with. And so I drew a piece of pizza and I drew four slices. And so I was like, all right, this one goes to this one, this, right? Teacher walks up to me and says, "Why are you wasting your time? They're never going to get it."
Oh, hell no.
And it was just, are you shitting me? Like, but the kids, the county gives the schools money based on the IEPs of these kids. And, the teacher would get up when class was done and say, "Get out of my face. I'm tired of looking at you." And I was like, no, nope. Mm-mm. So the courses have been written where there's so much fun. A lot of the fact that I've had some moms say my kids love them because they didn't realize they were learning. Like, so that frustration wasn't there from the jump. So the kids are going in there thinking, "Oh, I'm going to play. I'm not trying to learn." Because a lot of times it's very frustrating for them that they can't grasp a concept that's developed in a certain way. So you do it a different way. You find a way that works for them, right? And then you apply it. And that's what we've done here. And I've had so many parents reach out and say, "These are great because our kids think they're playing and having fun and they don't really realize that they're learning these fundamental, tactics that are needed in education, if you will." So it's so much fun and it's stucco. Hello, it's stucco. And how do you go wrong with stucco? He's just the sweetest, cutest thing ever.
He is our my wife's surface dog, and he is our family pet. But I swear he thinks he's a human because when it's time for bed, he lays right down on my pillow and snuggles up with my wife.
Yes, but it's hilarious. No, you got to tell him what he does if you try to come near
If
me.
I try to give my wife a hug or a kiss, he gets in between us, pushes us away, pushes me away.
Yeah, he doesn't push me.
Yeah.
And then if my husband reaches over to try to hold my hand, Stucco takes his paw and shoves my husband's hand away from me.
Anybody looking for a golden retriever?
Shut your mouth. Faith, he's trying to get rid of the boys.
Don't call her.
He's trying to get rid of the boys.
Did she just say the hell he won't?
You're asking the deaf person
Huh?
what she said? Stucco is the best, and Rusty is the best. We have been very blessed with two phenomenal, phenomenal dogs. They're members of the family. Like they are. She said, "No, the hell he won't." That just came across as a text. It and if you do, I will cover up my tattoo. Ooh, she's gonna
That's just wrong.
tattoo.
That's wrong.
It's accurate. Good for her. That's what I'm saying. These are, I mean, they're family members. They're the best. They are the best. They're amazing. And they're so sweet and cuddly. And so what they think. He does think he's 5 pounds. So if I'm sitting in one of the recliners, he will run up and jump in my lap like he's 5 pounds. And he's 88 pounds. So he's not a tiny little tot. But he just thinks he is. And that's what he does. And it's just the sweetest thing. And they make your life so much better. It's medically proven that people with dogs live longer and they're happier.
The dogs live longer.
And the people. If the dogs are treated right. Now, if you're some jackass who hurts animals, I have to tell you, not that I wouldn't give, I would say my left arm because I don't have it, but Keanu Reeves, right, who is just a stellar stand up human being, right? He has publicly come out and said, "Why is it that you can, you know, child abuse and people who kill kids can go to jail and go to death row, but if you kill an animal, and he was like, people who hurt animals should be put down." And when Keanu publicly made that statement, I was like, there he is. Like just another gold star for Keanu Reeves,
Hmm.
right? Because he was just like, nobody should hurt an animal. I mean, it's just not right. And they're right. It's not. I mean, I'm telling you what, somebody ever hurt Stucco or Rusty, um,
And Keanu's welcome on the show anytime.
would do a recording at any time, 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. I wouldn't care if I could get him on. Just saying. Remind him again that I will cover the tattoo. Okay, there it is.
Wow. Thank you, Faith. So real quickly, y'all keep writing in your stories to Dear Silence.
The cutoff is this week because I'm overwhelmed with
My
them.
wife has the email to send it to.
Phoenix. Mhm.
Go ahead.
At acontagiousmile.com.
Phoenix at a contagiousmile.com.
Correct.
She's read something from our daughter. I believe you read something else before,
I
right?
did not. That was the
No?
first reading.
Well, I've heard some of them and they're eye-opening, heartbreaking, touching. It pisses you off.
But it's also from a survivor point of view, it should
It
be very uplifting to make you realize that
can be therapeutic.
that many people have gone through this. And it's different when you're reading their words, where you could say, you know what? I can get out too.
Right.
I can do this. It gives you that little boost of energy that you might feel you need. Because, I mean, you literally lose all of who you are.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
So y'all look forward to this upcoming book, Dear Silence.
Yes. And it will be released for Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Speaking of books, y'all do remember that the wife is an author of 41 books at this moment. Okay, and you can find them on Amazon.
They're
Find
not
through
all
our,
out
you
there.
can find them through our website.
Right. And I've also made some of them like ebooks into the Academy.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Like the Unmasking of the Puppeteer is one of them, and it's free in the Academy once you join. It's in the resource library. Yeah.
And yeah, so we appreciate any and all reviews that y'all give us.
Especially if they're 5 star.
We don't get enough reviews about our show, about our podcast, A Contagious Smile,
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. That's us, you and I. And what else?
Did you ever remember what you wanted to talk about?
I did not. I'm old.
You're not old.
I'm over 29.
That's not really old.
I'm 51.
I know. I've known you
That's
for like your 20s, 30s, 40s, and now 50s.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. How about a tip for a good, successful marriage?
A tip, laugh.
Come on now.
We laugh all the
All the
dang
doggone
time.
time.
I mean, there's times I remember laying in bed,
I couldn't breathe.
we were laughing so hard. And that's good, for us.
You know, they say that if you fart in front of your spouse, that you're gonna be together forever.
Okay, there's a good tip. Don't give your wife apple juice prior to going to sleep.
No, but hold on. When we dated very long time ago, and you would spend the night with me, first of all, I slept wearing socks, and you would say to me, "Take the socks off." I said, "No, I hate feet, except baby feet," right? And you're like, "No." And then you would fart in bed with me, and it was raunchy. And you would say, "Babe, how is it you never fart? Why is it you never fart?" And you said to me, "One day you're going to fart around me, and I'll know you really love me." And I was like, "What?" And I mean, I would get up in the middle of the night and run to the bathroom if I had to, because I was not going to fart with you in the bed. I wasn't going to do it.
Seriously.
Yes. But now,
She's a dork.
now I go to sleep without socks on, and my husband gives me apple juice. And Faith, I don't know. The competition was between my husband and Faith. I think, I don't know, because they could clear a room like a savannah after every meal. And Faith will run over and she'll blow a kiss out of her butt and she go, "Oh, my butt blew you a kiss," which is hysterical. And she runs over and farts on him.
Are you saying she has a A butt kiss, and
Yeah.
you have a butt bazooka.
Hers is just as potent as no, we're both. You're just as bad. You are nasty raunchy because you eat some nasty shit and it comes out and it's gross.
On that note,
And what's worse, here's my tip for a good marriage. Don't take a dump if you're about to have your wife go take her bath because my husband loves to do that. He goes to the bathroom and he's scrolling on TikTok for half an hour and then he's like, "Babe, I'm going to set your bath for you because not a lot of men would do that for their wife." Ha ha ha. It's overcompensating for the fact that it smells so disgusting and raunchy in that bathroom and he's trying to be sweet because if we waited for it to air out, not only would none of us have any hot water, it would be in the morning. So, he thinks that's a sweet way to do it. But men either plug it up and wait for the wife to take her bath or shower first, or go in another bathroom. And then you don't have to worry about it. Because why would you do that to your spouse? That's just not okay. It's just gross.
family who farts together stays together.
Oh, but plop, plop, fizz, fizz. I don't need that relief when I'm taking a bath. I don't need that aroma. And you know what? Coffee grounds do amazing things for smells in a bathroom. Because I have a cute little container and it's full of coffee grounds, and it makes the bathroom smell so much better after he has dropped the kids off in the pool.
You can't say that.
Yes, I can. Why? That's like a millennial or an 80s or 90s thing that everybody says. Why are you laughing? I didn't say in the pool. I said at the pool.
Oh, Lord. All right. Thank you for listening to the Contagious Smile.
See, here we are. Why are you laughing at me?
Hopefully, we're not sued.
Sued.
Oh.
You said you're dropping kids off at the pool?
All right. Good night, y'all. Listen again next
Oh
week.
my God.